Question, yes sir, up high. The question was about local honey and allergies. And have you ever heard the concept of like cures like? It's basically homeopathy is built on the concept of like cures like. Like frequency, basically when you introduce a frequency to the body or when you introduce an irritant to the body, it causes an immune response. And what honey does is it provides those irritants that normally would give you, for example, if you're outside in a field and you get all of these, this rush of these irritants in your nose and in your eyes and everything, you get a major inflammatory reaction, and that's where you get the itchiness, because the blood is rushing to your eyes, and you get the sneezing and all of that, because your body is trying to expectorate those irritants, trying to get it out of your body because you're having a major reaction. What honey does is it gives you trace amounts of those irritants in small enough doses that it allows your immune system to respond and to learn the irritant so that next time it sees the irritant, it doesn't respond the same way. And a lot of people that have airborne allergies like that, over time, when you eliminate artificial scents in your home, when you eliminate aerosols in your home, these are the types of things that cause irritants like that to be even more, to conjure up even more of a response. So it's not just the honey, it's also getting rid of some of the other things that cause you to be more susceptible or more sensitive to those irritants that will help to reduce that. But basically what honey does is it gives trace amounts of these irritants, and it gives your immune system an opportunity to learn them and to respond differently next time. Yes? The question was about the titanium cooking pans that we like so much. Actually, the titanium cooking pan, Salad Master is the company that we like a lot because of their commitment to the quality of their products. And Salad Master is a company that they have direct selling reps set up, and they actually will come into your home and cook you a meal and show you how the stuff works. That's how you can buy the pans, is directly through one of their representatives, and you can actually learn it in your home instead of going to a store and trying to have someone tell you how it works when you can actually watch it happen. So I actually learned about Salad Master through having them come into my home and teach me about the pans I was cooking with. And they did a couple demonstrations and were you guys here when I talked about the baking soda test? That was done, I talked about it last week, where you simply put 2-3 ounces of water, and then you put a couple teaspoons of baking soda in a pan, and you crank it up to medium high, and you let it sit there and simmer for 8 minutes. And he did that with my pans, and then did it with a non-stick pan, and did it with a Salad Master pan, a 316 Ti stainless steel or titanium. And it was absolutely amazing, because the pans I was cooking with that were supposed to be top of the line, I could taste the metal, it's almost like, you ever bit aluminum? It was like that, but worse. And the cast iron, that was the last time I ever used a cast iron pan. The cast iron was the worst. So you're going to find out that some of the best products out there come through some direct selling channels, some you can buy retail. They're kind of all over the board. So we'll kind of show you the areas that we've gone and researched. And as far as pots and pans goes, you won't find anything better than those, because I have scoured the earth the past 10 years looking for the best pots and pans, and they are by far the best. Like I said, they're the only company that uses the same titanium grade that is used for actual surgical use as well, because it doesn't leach into human cells. So we actually have information available. If you contact us, we can get you information on how we can get you in contact with someone who can come in and do a free dinner for you and your friends. It's actually a blast. How many people would love to have someone cook them dinner? I know, it's awesome. But if you want to connect with us and just ask us, we'll help get you in contact with them. Again, at that event in January, we're going to have Salad Master here and doing demonstrations with their pans and things like that too, so you guys can take a look at that, and then you can decide if you'd like to have them cook you a dinner as well. So, yes, sir. Oh, community shared agriculture. I blanked for a second. The question was, what does CSA mean? And it's community shared agriculture. Basically, the structure of most CSAs is they have a certain amount of shares available, and you buy a share. Your home is a share. And what you then get is you get a certain ration of the food that they grow over a year. So they know that they can equally divide all the produce that they grow to 100 people or to 100 homes. So they split all of it up over 100 homes, and every week you get your CSA share. And some CSAs, you cannot choose what you get. You just take what the garden is producing. I kind of like that because it's like, it forces me into looking for new recipes and cooking things that I don't necessarily cook all the time. Some people absolutely despise getting surprises when it comes to their baskets. And sometimes you'll get mounds of potatoes that you don't know what to do with these potatoes. But some CSAs now are actually going into food choice, where you can say, I choose more of this, I don't want this type of food, and they won't put it in your basket. You find CSAs, the same links that we gave you in the food sourcing lesson. Go to local, I think it's localharvest.org or something like that. There are websites that are dedicated to helping you find the CSAs in your area. Again, our event in January, we're going to have as many CSAs as we can get here represented all over central Iowa. We will get them here. And you'll be able to talk to each and every one of them and see how their programs are set up, and you can choose your CSA for the next year. And some of you may not want to do a CSA. You might just want to go to the farmer's market and just buy from farmers there. But be cautious of the farmer's market, because there's a bunch of people at the farmer's market buying food from the same wholesalers that are selling it to grocery stores, and they're putting it in the back of their truck and selling it to you at a farmer's market. To me, they should be kicked out. But if a vegetable has a sticker on it, it ain't from a farmer, because they wouldn't go through the extra step of putting a sticker on their vegetables or on their fruit. All right, so if you go to the farmer's market, be prepared to ask the farmers questions. And if you don't like the answers, move on. You're the consumer. It's your choice, right? Yes, ma'am. Dehydrators and pressure cookers. Dehydrators are wildly time consuming. We have the best dehydrator money can buy, and we use it all the time. But that's because I would say we're at the high end of Whole Foods skill levels. So we do a lot of dehydrating. For example, we just went up to Wisconsin. My wife's parents have 3 apple trees that just popped this year. And we brought home 8 buckets of apples. And we are going to be dehydrating apples until the cows come home. So it's one of those things where if it's one of the things you want to invest in, dehydrating foods, it's actually a good raw food tool as well. Those of you who stick with us and become members of our website, we're going to have raw food information and things like that if you want to start looking into raw food cooking. Dehydrators are also very, very good for that. Pressure cookers, they scare me. I've had terrible things happen with pressure cookers, and terrible stories of pressure cookers exploding everywhere. They can cook things really fast, but I've never seen a pressure cooker as a staple in a home. I've never seen it being kind of one of those old standbys. But if someone here likes pressure cookers and they want to use it, go ahead and use it. I just don't see it as a staple as much as like a slow cooker would be, or a good big roasting pot that you can kind of set something on low and let it cook throughout the day, so when you're home it's done. That's just my opinion, I guess. Yes, sir. The question was just asking why we recommend not using microwaves. And the reason being is because there's been enough research out there showing that the type of radiation wave that a microwave uses and how it speeds up the molecules, which is how you get the heat, you get it from the inside out, is it will actually damage the nutrients in the food much faster than a radiant heat wave will, because this is forced radiation wave versus a radiant wave, which is basically warming the food out, warming it up from the outside in. Okay, microwave is from the inside out, and it's just a much more aggressive type of energy. So I don't like it for what it does to the food, and I try not to use that energy source in my home a lot either, because it's a big electromagnetic pull, which we'll talk about in environmental science as well, because there's a lot of electromagnetic fields that are coming out of things that are plugged in, and as electromagnetic as your body is, it's something you want to be aware of. So that's why we try not to fire up the microwave much at all. Yes? Glass pots and pans? The question was, what about using glass pots and pans? I don't have much of a problem with glass pots and pans. I definitely like glass storage containers. But we've seen the titanium cookware work so much better with food than glass. And I think it's more or less like if you're going to get something, you're going to invest in something, you want it to really work. You know, you want that thing to work and come out right every time. And glass is a lot less, it doesn't conduct heat nearly as well. So you end up getting a lot of uneven baking, and you get that a couple times, and you're frustrated. You invest in the ingredients that go into a dish, and then it doesn't turn out, and it's kind of, it can be frustrating. So I guess that's one of the only reasons that we don't really advocate glass cookware, is because it's a very poor conductor of heat, and it kind of ends up ruining a lot of dishes, or at least it has in my experience. It's a good question though. Yes? Baking stones. For like pizza and stuff like that. So the question was, what about baking stones? Again, perhaps it's one of your tools that you use. It's not a staple. We don't see it as something that you would use constantly all the time. It's something that instead of trying to figure out how to get a baking stone and use it a lot, even if you have one, like how to use it more, it's kind of one of those things where you'll spend a lot more time trying to figure out how to use it than if you were to just invest in a good pot and pan set and figure out how to use it more. I think you'll get a lot better results, and you'll be able to use it, the pots and pans a lot more than you can a baking stone. Every now and then, if you want to get fancy, when friends come over and make like a homemade pizza, you can pull out the baking stone and look like a rock star. But other than that, the baking stone really isn't it doesn't do all that well when it comes to being a wide range use tool in the kitchen. Again, in my opinion. Yes. Cutting boards. Any recommendations on cutting boards? We actually really don't use a lot of cutting boards. We have a granite countertop, and we do a lot of knife sharpening. If anything, we just have a thin, it's just like a thin wood cutting board. The only reason that I use it is because it's specifically not treated. It's just wood. And a lot of people don't use wood because they're afraid of germs being translated. I use vodka to clean things, and vodka kills everything. And it isn't the stuff, no, I'm with you on that. It's not that you wouldn't, even if you were tempted, you wouldn't drink this stuff. I mean, it's terrible. It's the cheapest vodka you can find, and I don't know how in the world they sell it for human consumption. But yeah, so I could care less about, I'm not a bacteria phobe, I don't know. Bottom line is, my food's clean when it comes to my house. My meats and things like that come from local farms, and the animals are fed right, so the bacteria count is way lower than conventional food. So we just use non-treated cutting boards, and it seems to work really, really well for us. But nothing fancy. Usually the really fancy, expensive ones are really treated. So the more simple, the better. All right, you guys have been, again, a wonderful audience. Please let us know if you have any other questions. Otherwise, we will see you next week, and we will move into supplementation. It'll be the first time you've ever had supplements explained this way. I can pretty much promise you that. So look forward to seeing you next week. Have a safe drive home. Thank you.